And what if I told you the reason you can't relax is because relaxation feels dangerous to your nervous system? So many of us, when we start to slow down, it doesn't feel peaceful. It actually feels threatening. Because our nervous systems have actually learned that safety lives in the hustle, in the doing, in the staying one step ahead, and the getting stuff checked off our to-do list. And so when it's time to actually rest, our bodies freak out. They don't know what to do. It can feel very unsafe. May have a little narrative saying, oh, we're lazy, or I should do this stuff, or who am I to be doing this, or nothing. If I don't do this now, I'm never going to get anything done, whatever the narrative is. And I see this all the time. I've worked with women in the clinic for almost 30 years, and so many women that are high achieving who've finally like are carving out time for themselves, for yoga, for meditation, for relaxing. They actually feel more anxious, not less anxious when they do it. Like our bodies literally don't know how to receive rest because rest hasn't been shown as safe. Productivity was safe, achievement was safe. But as soon as we try to soften, to rest, to get quiet, to stop doing, it's vulnerable. It means that we have to slow down enough to feel everything. Sometimes the doing is actually an unconscious flight response for our nervous system, getting away from things, moving in constant movement so that we feel safe. And safety and stress actually isn't so much about all the things we have to do. A really powerful definition of stress happens when we have more demands than the resources we have to meet them. So more demands versus and not enough resources. So not enough time, not enough money, not enough energy to get all the things that we have on our to-do list done or all the things that we want to do. So this changes so much because it means the solution isn't always about doing less, but sometimes it actually is because we're cramming too much in. But it's actually about resourcing ourselves differently. It's about actually restoring something that's been blocked or disconnected. And this is in Chinese medicine, we have a term called qi. So qi is our vitality, our life force. It's the energy that animates you, that moves through every living thing. And it moves through us like water moving through a river system. When it flows smoothly, we feel good. We feel balanced. We feel creative. We feel alive. We have capacity. So it's like you have a chi bank account and then you have this river system so that all the energy that you need to get to different places in your body are moving well. But when chi becomes blocked, stagnant, stuck, when we're trying to do more than we have time or resources for, we can get stuck, tense, tight, blocked in some way. So when it gets blocked or stuck, it's like an internal traffic jam. Everything backs up. Energy feels tight, it feels congested, and your body's going to start sending you signals. Might be waking up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with your mind racing, or like waking up quickly and having a hard time falling back to sleep. You might notice that you have a stiff neck or really tight shoulders, and it doesn't seem to release no matter how much you stretch. You could be really effing irritable, and it can come out of nowhere, really snappy at people. It could be just feeling road rage, just sighing a lot, being really frustrated by things. Shallow breathing, holding your breath when you're working. A lot of people will notice this. They're at the computer, they're not actually breathing. Or it can show up in your digestive system. Nothing's moving through you. Or you can have IBS-like symptoms. Symptoms, I always say symptoms aren't random, they're messengers. It's the way your body's trying to get your attention. Something needs tending to, something needs to move, something needs to flow, something needs to be seen and heard, and we need to change. It's like we have an internal threat bucket. And when our threat bucket starts to fill up, we're doing more than the resources we have. Our body tries to get our attention through symptoms. Hey, I'm going to give her a little bit of a headache so she stops doing that. But what we often do is we override that feeling and we keep going. We take something to get rid of her headache and we keep moving on and keep pushing through. And then what the body does is it says, well, she's not listening. I'm going to get a little bit louder. And so the invitation is not about pushing harder or doing more. We're talking about doing the opposite. We're talking about slowing down, the art of slowing down. And what happens naturally when we slow down is we actually soften. We create more space for ourselves, for movement, and a movement that actually nourishes us versus depletes us. Movement that comes when, if you've been driving on the road and there's a traffic jam and then all of a sudden it frees up and you can start driving again. It feels really good. Feels very freeing, like there's movement. The same thing happens in our body when we have tension and then we soften, we relax, we tend to ourselves in some way. We feel better. Start breathing, tension releases, constriction opens, we start to flow again. And this is what I've learned. I learned this, everything that I do, I've had to practice myself and working with thousands of women in the clinic. Flow isn't about doing more. It's more about allowing to soften, to slow down, and to listen so that we can actually notice and hear the things that are trying to get our attention. So it's, where do you feel stuck? Where do you feel stagnant, rigid, tight, sad, grief, holding, whatever it is? And the more we can tend to that, we can bring energy to it, then we can move with more ease. And the beautiful thing is, it does not have to be a long practice. This is not about hours, like every day, setting aside tons of time to do this. You don't need to clear your calendar or go on a retreat or a vacation to get this. This is actually about the micro moments, those little in between spaces that you can infuse into your day, those little sacred acts of coming back to yourself and your body through the day. And so I'm going to give you a couple of really simple things that you can do that you can do anytime. You can start your day with it, between meetings, between shifting tasks, between, before you make dinner, when you're going pee, all these things you can do just to come back home to yourself. So this is really, it's not about trying to relax, but it's really practicing slowing down, practicing listening and softening. So relaxation, sometimes where people can feel like asking you to go from 100 to 0, right? Like you're supposed to just stop and be still and relax. And it's so annoying. Just relax, man. It's like, it's not so easy. And so for a nervous system, like if you've been in that doing mode, that survival mode, and it feels really impossible, or like you feel like you're going to be lazy, and on some level maybe feels unsafe, slowing down might be the difference. Slowing down is creating these little pockets of space within your day while you're still doing things, while you're still accomplishing things, but finding these tiny moments where you can resource yourself and you can remind your body, signal safety. Hey, we're safe here. Going a little slower is okay. What's ironic is we actually end up getting things done easier. I was talking with someone the other day, and she said sometimes she's going so fast, she'll end up bumping something, knocking something over, breaking it, hurting herself because she's going so fast. And when we slow down, we can actually get the same things done, but it just feels better and we're more present with ourselves. We actually have things that are happening neurologically when we are in hustle mode. Our body is linked to we've linked productivity with safety, and it thinks if I keep moving, I'm okay. If I stop, something bad might happen. It's not been something we've been taught. It's not been modeled. And for thousands of years, we've been in this productivity mode. And for women in particular, we've been overriding our need for rest and trying to get things done all the time. So the important thing is you're going to start titrating these things. Start with a little thing, signal safety, see what it feels like. Oh, this spaciousness actually feels great. I still got stuff done. Ooh, wait a second. That feels safe now. So when we practice going slower, we find these little moments. We're going to build and bridge new neural pathways that say this slowing down, this spaciousness is actually safe. So these don't have to be big practices at all. Actually, the simple ones that you can infuse in your day are really probably the best ones. So you don't have to think about it. These like micro practices. I have a ton of essential oil practices you can do, some nervous system resetting tools if you want more of this on my channel. But there are a couple that you can do just now to even right now. So before you start cooking, before you get in the car, when you're at a traffic light, you can do a deep exhale sigh. So this one you can do just a big breath in, and then you're just going to exhale all your air out all the way to the bottom. So like almost like you're fogging up a glass. There's this pursing your lips. And when you get to the bottom, one more little exhale. And then you're going to do a deep breath in. This is like, oh, just a big releasing of what happens. You're helping to arrive in this moment, can just help your stress bucket from overflowing. Creates a lot more space. This one in particular for me will create a lot more space in my upper back. So just, you're not trying to do this too much. Do it once or twice, breathing out, breathing in, and then, breathing in, breathing all the way out, and then just a normal breath again. You can also just take a moment to notice where you're having tension. Lightly bringing your tension there, say it's your shoulders, taking a breath, putting your hands on your shoulders and just checking in, bringing a little bit of attention there. Bring your breath there. Notice what happens when you stop and you pay attention to that. Couple of breaths, holding that particular area. Might even ask, what do you need me to know? And see what comes. There is an unconscious brain, an intuition that will come through. Just like if I said, pick a number between 1 and 10 right now, a number will come. Ah, 3. Okay, it's there. You don't think about it, you trust it. Same thing when you ask, what do you need me to know? Something comes. Trust it. Trust it. Then you start listening to your body in these micro ways that can set you up for having that connection, mind, body, spirit, soul, integrating. And the third way, this is a beautiful practice. If you are someone who has nature accessible to you, tree outside your window, if you can go put your feet on the ground, even better, take a walk, whatever it is. But if you're feeling a little bit wound up, or you just want to take that moment, just go look at the horizon and nature. And what amazingly happens is when we're working or we're forward, our head is often leading us forward and our vision actually gets quite narrow. When we look at nature, we naturally bring back our whole body goes back, our head goes back, our vision opens up, and we start to attune to nature. We start to have nature take the pace, set the pace. We are nature. So when we attune to nature, we actually check back in, we start to align with its rhythms. And when we have that, when we go back in nature, our vision opens up, we have more perspective. We're able to find solutions to problems we didn't necessarily think we had before. Our blood pressure goes down, our heart rate goes down. This is beautifully something that you can do for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute if you have that. Go out for longer for sure. But just that little bit, oh, attuning to nature. And if you're feeling under-resourced, this is a great way what can you count on? Giving something else, tuning into something else to give you some resources. So, hey, can you trust that the sun will come up tomorrow? Spring will come. There's something that tells nature what to do. Can you resource that and use that so everything's not coming from you and you're not white knuckling it through and just trying to do everything? Very simple practices, 30 seconds. These can reset you. No, they might seem so simple, they might seem so small, but that's why they work. Micro dosing these little resetting tools. Pick one, pick two, try these practices, try it today, try it tomorrow, try it right now, because you don't have to overhaul your entire life to feel better. And if you're feeling like slowing down or relaxation doesn't feel that easy, just start with these. A little bit of space, a little bit of slow movement, and you're going to feel better. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'd love to hear how it goes. Thanks for being here. I will see you next time. Bye for now.